Alrighty guys, this is Snugs on Blitz and I'm back with another video for you today. So this video was inspired by a subscriber who commented on my Chimera video. Thank you, Troy. I said Chimera is one of the strongest tier 8 mediums, and he said, yeah, he agrees, but he puts this tank, the T34-2, in second place. So I decided to take a look at all the tier 8 meds, and I was surprised. There are a ton of them. So what I want to quickly do is look at this tank and then give you my opinions on it, and then we'll jump into my top 10. It's going to be a countdown, and we're going to see which is going to be in first place. Again, this is my list. Troy has his list. You have your list. So feel free to disagree in the comments. But with that, let's take a look at this tank. Now, the T34-2 does have great HE. Look at that, 500, okay? That is some serious damage if you can get behind a tank. But it does have one major problem, and that is its gun depression. 5 degrees is rough. So, not a great tank for newer players. Now, there is a gold version of this tank, the T34-3, and it has the same high explosive damage, great, but again, 5 degrees of gun depression. So, will this make my top 10? Well, let's take a look. Now, when I created this list, I was amazed how many tier 8 mediums there are. By my count, there are 28. I've got 25 of them myself. 2 of them I just would never buy, and one, it just is too futuristic for me, the 047. So, solid pass on that one for me. So, coming in at number 10. No, it's not this tank. The FCM is a tough tank to play. I play it okay, but it is huge for a medium. Close to the size of a mouse, almost. It's crazy. Anyway, coming in at number 10, it's the Pantera. Now, this tank is all about one single thing, the gun. This auto reloader is really tricky because you're never sure how many shells it's got in the magazine. When you've got a tank such as the IS-3 Defender, once it's fired its 3rd shell, you're pretty much guaranteed, if you've been watching carefully, that it's out and it's on a reload, and a long reload. Same thing with the FV4005. Yes, I know they could have reloaded in the process, but if you're watching carefully, you can track it. But with this tank, you're never sure how many shells it's got in the magazine because it starts reloading as it moves. You don't have to stop. So that's why it makes my number 10. Coming in at number 9, it's the T34-3. Yes, the brother of Troy's second favorite tank. Sorry, Troy. This tank is my number 9. It's got great turret armor. It's got a great gun, the same as its brother, but it feels better than the T34-2 for me. Again, its weakness is its gun depression. You need to be on flat ground. Yeah, you can use some hilly terrain if you know how to use it, but it is a tough customer. So I do not recommend this tank for newer players. And the Tech Tree counterpart, same issue. It's a tough tank for newer players to play. Coming in at number 8, I'm giving it to the Lorraine. Now, like the Pantera and the T34-3, these 3 tanks are all about their gun. This tank has 4 shells. It is also quite mobile. It has very little armor, so you've got to be careful. But if you can save your hit points and push in later when tanks are low health, this is a great cleaner-upper. It's absolutely great. I think it's a very underrated tank. A lot of people don't seem to like it, but in a platoon of 2 of them, you can really rip through enemy tanks. And that's why it comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, I'm giving it to the Barask. This is a great tank in a pro player's hands, but it's not a noob-friendly tank at all. It's tough. If you want to know how this plays, play the Spick in Tier 7. It's identical play style. Rush in, hit, run away. Use its great camo and snipe for a while to hit your enemy, because it does hit hard. Anyway, coming in at number 6, this is the M4A1 Rev. I really like this tank. I really like it. It's a fun tank. It's a little bit high up, but it's got great gun depression, and the gun smacks. Oh yeah, this has got a great gun. Don't really recommend this for newer players because you've got to get used to maps and positioning and things like that. But I think it's an easier tank to play than the Barask for sure. And the gun hits just as hard. And you don't have that super long reload. So yeah, that's why it makes my number 6. Coming in at number 5, and we're moving into the creme de la creme. Yes, this tank, the WZ122TM. What a great tank this is. In many ways, this is a Chinese version of the Chimera. Great turret, great armor, great gun. This hits hard. It's just not as mobile as the Chimera. It's a little bit sluggish. It's more of a hull down, slower playstyle than the Chimera, which can get around a little bit faster. But it does hit hard, and I definitely recommend this tank for everyone. Coming in at number 4, I'm giving it to my baby, the Progetto 46. I absolutely love this tank. It is one of my favorites. It's like a Pantera on steroids. The pen is not great, but it is so agile. And if you know how to play a medium, this is an awesome tank to play. It just feels like it glides everywhere. Hills, roads, you know, even through rivers. It just moves well. It's just a lovely tank. And I would say you've got to get this in your garage if you can. Highly, highly recommended. Coming in at number 3, and this is a tough one because you've got the Scent Defender and you've also got its brother, the Scent 5.1. You can go either way. You've got to choose. Do you want a little better gun, a little better pen, or do you want those 4 shots? I'm going to go with the Scent 5.1 in the 3rd position. If you know how to play a hull down tank, you're golden. This tank will slice you and dice you little by little, but it will hurt, and you will not be able to pen this tank in the right positions unless you've got the best gun, and even then you might struggle. HE is the way you want to go against this tank if it's hull down, or just leave it alone. But coming in at number 2, I'm giving it to the Scent Defender because of those 4 shells. Again, a great turret. And against the Scent 5.1, I feel this moves a little bit better. It just feels more maneuverable. Closer to the Progetto in its maneuverability, but not quite there. But the 4 shells, again, it's like a Lorraine on steroids because you got the 4 shells, you got better mobility, and you've got a great turret. I mean, what's not to love in this tank? But at number 1, yes, I'm giving it to the Chimera. It may not be the best looking tank. It's probably the ugly duckling of the bunch, but dang, it can hit hard. That gun, divine. Armor, solid. Yeah, the turret is not impervious, but it does hit hard, and all you have to do is peek on up, shoot, and back on up. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's really easy, and it hits so hard. What a great tank. Honestly, the top 5 tanks here, I think they're all fabulous. They're all must-have in my mind. But if you're going to have to choose one, go with the Chimera because that gun just hits so hard. If you like the little slow death guns, maybe the Scent or the Progetto. So, did you agree with my list? Troy, did you remember all of these tanks? Had you forgotten a few? Let's talk about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Really appreciate you checking out my stuff. I'll see you next time. Snugs on Blitz, out.